First of all, I have to say, I mean, I grew up on Street Fighter and not King of Fighters, but its predecessor, Garou Densetsu. So as I was playing these games, I really felt I wanted to make a game like these, but a little more unique, have a unique twist on it. Before, up until now, there's been probably like 1 or 2 fighting game titles coming out, except for this year. It's just a surge. In Japan alone, I think there's about 14 new titles in the fighting game genre. So yeah, in that sense, I guess then it is a revival.
Rebel 1, action!
First of all, it begins with creating the universe. You know, you have the universe that the gameplay takes place in, and then from there you go into what kind of characters you think would live in this universe. And of course, you have to decide the number of characters you want to put into the game. So in this case, we decided to put 12 characters in and still retain that certain amount of personality and individuality for each character. And each character has a class when you're designing. For example, like Ragna and Jin, they would probably fit closely to Ryu, stuff from Street Fighter. You know, the main characters that have the basic motions that everyone's used to. And so it's one where someone can just pick up the game, and then if you have some experience with fighting games, you could still just pick it up right away. Since all the characters have their own personality, depends on the matchup. Basically, when you look at a character, you can't really tell how it's supposed to be played or what you're supposed to really do just by looking at it. But once you hit the drive button, it really gives that character its own personality, and it kind of outlines how the character, you know, is played throughout the game. Beginners can kind of feel flashy and cool with one button. So when we build a character, the first thing we think about is what do we want their drive button to be? You know, what are we going to have them do? And then we build a character around that. One of the main reasons I make games in 2D is because I personally, for one, like the look of 2D. And secondly, I just don't feel that a 3D engine can do what I want to do in terms of expression and bringing out the real characteristics of characters. So I think that's why I went with 2D. Actually, I would say BlazBlue has a lot of mechanics that are closer to a 3D fighter, put into a 2D skin. Well, probably the biggest difference between the arcade and console versions is that everyone's going to have an astral finisher move, all characters. And the other difference is probably the really fleshed out story mode, which the Japanese players like, but I'm not sure how that's going to fly. BlazBlue is something I really want to push, not just as a 2D fighter, but more of the contents and what else it has to offer, besides the fact that it's a fighter. Because I see myself as more of a service. I provide a service, not a product. So I just want the users and players to be really happy with what they get. I mean, I really did put a lot of emphasis and attention to creating really individual characters. So I hope that you guys can just keep on playing all the characters and finding your own style, because I don't believe any game should have one way to be played. You should be able to play it however you want. Well, I don't think there's a real set date at this moment that I could tell you guys, but I would like to get it out there as soon as possible. That's all I can say.
生まれ変わって出直せ